to this week's episode of Mindset Reset, pre-recorded version. My name is Zac Thraves. I am your host, your guide, your person who brings you through this. What a beautiful location I'm in. I've chosen the bathroom of Hoath House in Chiddingstone, Hoath, Kent, to produce this week's episode about mirror universes. I've chosen the bathroom because there's three versions of me, at least, in the mirror. So it's sort of which one is going to be speaking. This week we're talking about mirror universes and the whole idea. What are they? Where do they come from? What's the point? And hoping to explore ideas about our emotions. Explore ideas about our emotions and to help us find balance. The point of Mindset Reset is for all of us, and it's not just specific to people with depression or anxiety or any other label we want to give it, because human beings, by their very nature, and I include myself in that, are emotional creatures. And Mindset Reset is about giving us a different perspective on how we cope with our emotions and trying to sort of shake up our expectations and for us to take responsibility for our thoughts and our actions and reactions to our thoughts. It is a change of perspective that's required, and it's coming at it from a different point of view. In Mindset Reset, I come at it from the point of view of art, show, fun, pop, whiz-bang, poo-poo, anything like that. You see, it's about changing our approach. I don't want to talk as if it's doom and gloom all of the time, because when you're in depression, and I know because I have it, it does feel like that all the time, and you need to get out of it. So here we talk about ways of overcoming things. We explore our emotions from different ranges of viewpoints. And this week, as I've said, it's about mirror universes. What are mirror universes? Interesting question. So what I'm going to do is explain what it's going to work, how it's going to work now, and then we'll dive in to the mirror universe. I don't know which one. Will it be that one? Or 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 will it be that one? I don't know. That's the beauty. Yes, I'm perched on the bath. It's this wonderful bathroom. I do like the decor though. I like the yellow. It's bright, and I'm probably echoing a bit, so I'm trying to keep my voice down because I don't want to overwhelm you with noise in this unique, wonderful place in the heart of Kent. Now then, mirror universes. Do they exist? Are they real? I'm glad you asked me that question. I was about to ask myself that question and realised that I'd already answered it, so I can give you the information that you were about to ask. Let me go to my notes, which are in another alternate reality on the computer screen here. I'm just going to head over there and talk about the content. So, here we are, 30 minutes of me giving you stuff about mirror universes. So, mirror universes. So, the concept of a mirror universe was made popular by Star Trek. But it wasn't just Gene Roddenberry or his army of wonderful writers, all of whom were extremely popular science fiction writers. It wasn't just them who came up with the concept. It came from, actually, the Greeks, ancient Greece, and the theory of atomism. And atomism is two atoms colliding, and by their collision creates another alternate reality, or a mirror, or another atom, or who knows where we are. I mean, the universe that we're in is expanding, but it could be a small atom in a bigger universe. We do not know. So anyway, the ancient Greeks thought of that. They're good philosophers and all of that sort of thing. That sort of, this philosophical thought about alternate realities and alternate universes really sort of swept through a lot of intellectual thinking and became quite popular in the Middle Ages. So this isn't new, This isn't new. The idea of an alternate reality, of mirror universes, is not new. Star Trek popularised it with the first series in the 60s with an episode called Mirror Mirror, in which the crew of the Enterprise they're evil. There's an evil version of them, and Captain Kirk becomes a captain by murdering the captain. He's taking the helm, and somehow, I can't remember how the episode works entirely, but somehow the crew of the nice side of things wake up on the bad Enterprise, and then they have to find their way back. And it was a very popular episode, and subsequently it's been used for Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Enterprise, and the new one, Discovery, used it quite a lot. Overused it, in my opinion. So yeah, Next Generation can do it, but there's been comics, there's been books, and all sorts of things. So Star Trek sort of made it popular. So here we are, philosophical. So actually, just remember reading those notes now. In 2010, because of its popularity, and a lot of things have come out of Star Trek, like mobile phones, the communicators and things like that. And I think medical science is working. The injections that just spray into you. That's a Star Trek thing. The scientists are researching into alternate realities, and is it real? Is there a parallel universe? Because space and time and the way we look at the universe, it changes all the time because we're learning more and evolving more, and it's not quite as the universe is chaotic, so it's not quite. The laws don't necessarily follow the laws that we thought they did 300 years ago. Things evolve, and they are researching into this. There's a thought that there's a reality and then there's another reality, because it's just everything bends. Now Marvel, we're keeping the theme of stories, because it's a huge storytelling trope that's used with lots of things. Marvel are using it with their multiverse in the current films, where Doctor Strange opens up all these things, and they've used time travel and Loki opening everything up and going to different realities and finding lots of different versions of himself. And then the thought process would be that there'll be lots of different versions of the characters. Comics can get away with this. We can do it now with films. So it's a huge storytelling thing. It's also, when you think about it, it's used in history with the what if scenario. What if, like Fatherland, for instance, by Robert Harris, is a great book exploring the idea of what Germany would have been like in the 70s if Hitler had won the war and survived, and how the world would be. And it's just that's the sort of backdrop, whereas it's a murder mystery story, but that's the backdrop. And a lot of historians use that to explore what if this had happened differently, what if Napoleon hadn't met his Waterloo, all that sort of stuff. But how does it affect us? That's an interesting thought, isn't it? How does it affect us? Well, when we look at, sorry, I'm talking, but can you see me? Can you see me there? I'm here. Look, I'm talking to you now in the alternate reality. When you look at Sliding Doors, so Sliding Doors is a film, is it Gwyneth Paltrow? And it's about choice. We make choices, and when you make one choice, then that creates a split, and then one of you goes that way, one of you goes that way, depending on your choice, and your life goes on from there. So today, for instance, I could have chosen to have salmon for breakfast. Instead, I had avocado for breakfast. And maybe there's one part of me now that I'm not particularly wanting salmon, but maybe the other version of me is wondering whether the avocado would have been better because maybe the other version of me is feeling a bit ill having had the salmon. Who knows, you see, it's an alternate thing, a split. And this theory and this used in stories, but it's also trying to be devised in other ways scientifically, is that we do every choice we make, because choices that we make have action and a reaction. And Sliding Doors explores this in the love story sort of development, where one half of her falls in love with a man who she is destined to meet, the other half doesn't. And when destiny doesn't do its thing, then it can get extremely messy. You see, this is where time travel becomes messy as well. Mirror universes and time travel become messy because we have brains that can't compute this sort of multi-dimensional idea of lots of versions of me. I mean, to be honest, I would hate lots of versions of me to be running around. Although there might be one version of me in a Lamborghini, there might be one version of me in a cardboard box outside Tesco. There might be one version of me that's an arch villain of some alternate version of Superman. There could be lots of different versions. There might be a version of me who is standing in a bathroom in Hoth House delivering something to the camera from one reality and then wishing that he was sitting on the bath, delivering it from there because it's much more comfortable. There might be. That's the beauty of these realities, is that you can play. And that's why I'm using it in Mindset Reset. It's a fun concept. I find it an awful lot of fun. And because it's about opening your imagination, and that's a very important tool and power that we have, that we can use to control and reason with and accept and explore our emotions. Our emotions are powerful. And here at my way of thinking is that you can't control your thoughts. My story with medication is that it took away not just the bad stuff, it muffled the good stuff. And that didn't sit easily with me. So I tried to figure out how I can live with the bad thoughts that go on in my head. And mindfulness, when I studied mindfulness, I learnt about it, and then I took a course in it and became a practitioner. Although I don't practice it, I do it myself, but I don't do it to others, but that gave me the idea and the understanding that my thoughts are just my thoughts. And what is important is my reaction to the thoughts, that I have a choice to make with a reaction to the thoughts, rather than I can't stop myself from contemplating self-harm, for instance, but I can then choose my reaction to the thought that entered my head. And everybody has bad thoughts. It's not unique to people with mental health. It's everybody. Everybody has bad thoughts. People, you have an idiot on the motorway who, I don't know, swears at you or cuts you up or causes you to feel anger. You wish sometimes, you think, you wish harm. Sometimes you'd wish harm on that person. It doesn't actually mean that you want them to do it. It doesn't mean that you're going to go up to them and shoot a gun in their face or whatever it is that you might want to do. I mean, that's quite extreme, but so maybe not do that. But you know what I'm trying to say. And it's our reaction. We can choose our actions. We can choose to be non-violent if we want to. We can choose to let that dark thought go. We can choose to let the anger go. But the problem that I feel that we have in our world and in what we're taught is that that is not explored or explained to us, because we have a situation and a society, and we have the message in the media being played that somebody is to blame for something. Always somebody is to blame for something. And actually we are responsible for ourselves. I'm not living where I live and working where I work because of woe is me, government, I didn't have these options, I went to that school, that didn't give me this, that didn't give me that. You know what, I'm the one to blame. I'm the one that takes that responsibility. If anyone's to blame for where I am in my life right now, whether I'm happy or sad about it, it's me. Me. I made choices, I made decisions, those had repercussions, and it all comes back to me. If I feel crap because, I can't afford to do something, that's my fault. That's me has done that. Not because I'm not earning enough money. If I'm not earning enough money, then that's down to me, nobody else. But we don't have that. There's always somebody else to blame. Oh, I didn't get these choices. Oh, my parents did that to me. Oh, they made me feel this. Oh, my friends make me feel sad. Oh, I'm in this relationship because he doesn't let me leave him. You have a choice. We all have a choice. Choices. And it's our choices which has led me to the mirror universe. And you know what? We have the beauty of being able to have with our conscious brain and our imaginations is that we can explore the options that we have without actually doing them. We can come to possible outcomes. And it doesn't say it's going to be like that, because then of course the universe is chaotic and other people will react. We can't control how other people react to a decision that you make, but you can explore possible outcomes to make an informed decision that could benefit you and hopefully those around you, people that you love. But it's got to come from you. It's that philosophical thought. Sometimes we're faced with decisions where there are two options and neither of them are good. You're faced with two options that could be potentially painful, could be sad, could hurt. But then, as the argument goes, you have to choose the least painful option, or you don't have to, you choose whichever option you like. But we tend to justify that and go for the least painful option for us and for other people. But you can't prevent people from being hurt. But then also your actions, you can't then control the reaction of the other person. That's their responsibility. They might be upset and they might say, you've hurt me, you've done this, you've made me feel this. But actually, they've taken that on. You have acted, they've taken that on, and then created another reality. And that's where the sort of Greeks were going with it, in that you create a new reality. That one of the ideas was that the world dies every few years and a new reality is created, and we could do that. I mean, we could create a new society. Let's face it, the one we're in at the moment is a bit stinky at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, we could easily do that and explore these ideas. I've made decisions in my life. Some have been good, some have been bad, and the important thing is to explore life. And you can't save everybody. You can't make everybody happy. You can't save the world. Just you. Just save you. Make you happy. Your happiness then becomes a light in somebody else's world as we all interact. My reality here now in the bathroom is, my partner's in a car driving somewhere. She's in a different reality. We've both got different realities, and then everybody else, and then our realities interact, and then they move off again. and we create newness and growth and learn new stuff. That is life. Life should be rich, should be energetic. We're molecules. We're a conscious being, subconscious, linked to the dimensions, using this vessel, which is made up of the same things that plants are made of and trees, in order to move us around and to keep us warm and to inhale food and to expel it again and all that sort of stuff for energy. So choice. What do you think in there? Yeah, I quite agree with you actually. I think that's quite an important thing to do. There's lots of different choices. Now, let me just look at my notes again as we get. It's a very strange thing to do. Here we are. Here's a quote actually that I found from Abraham Hicks. Chaos. I'm going to sit down. Chaos is, where is it? Choice. Choice is adversity. And we want that in our lives. Everything you do is a choice. Everything you say. How many times have I heard somebody say, what do you want for dinner? And you say, oh, I don't mind. And then they say, oh, well, we're going to have pasta. And then you're sitting there thinking, oh, I didn't want pasta. Well, then make a choice. You've been asked a question. Don't expect somebody else to answer it for you and for you to be happy about that. If you don't want something, you say. What I tend to do now is say, oh, it's interesting. I don't know at the moment what I'd like, but I know what I don't like at the moment. And, I don't want pasta. I don't want roast potatoes. So then you narrow it down and you say, okay, well, we could do rice. We could do this. We could do that. You create something out of that. It's important. It's a good mindset thing to do. Sometimes to write down things that you don't want, because a lot of people struggle to know what it is they want from life, what they want, the goals, the dreams. You don't know what you want to be when you grow up. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm still figuring that one out. So sometimes it's a useful exercise to write down what you don't want, and then that can lead you, your brain, your imagination, to start playing to discover what it is that you actually do want. And you can explore that by meditation. I use film soundtracks. Yesterday I was listening to Star Wars, the first film soundtrack. First film meaning episode 4, not episode 1. In my head, that's the first film is, you see that gets confusing. The 1977 film, and it's a lovely, peaceful soundtrack, especially the bit on Tatooine and all that sort of thing. It's got a lovely energy and waves, and it allows your imagination to move away. The only problem I have with it, in a way, if I'm going to be honest with you now, because honesty is a choice, is that because I've seen the film so many times, I start doing the dialogue. I'm viewing the film in my head while I'm listening to the music, which is great in the car, because I can watch a film in the car while I'm driving without actually watching it. But if you're trying to explore your own imagination, sometimes C-3PO would jump in, or R2-D2, and get in the way, which is no bad thing. I'm not complaining about that. It's quite fun to be exploring a life choice, and then C-3PO starts jumping around. Hey. So that is Mirror Universe, alternate realities. Here's an exercise for you to do. I want you to explore, if you like. You don't have to do these exercises. These are just suggestions. It's your choice. Explore. See if you can find at least 3 big decisions that you made in your life. Anything. It can be anything you like. It can be happy or sad. It can be anything. But what is an interesting thing to explore is to try and remember how it made you feel then, and to see if it makes you feel the same now, or if time has given you perspective. and a different perspective, and has healed a painful decision, or has something that you got really excited about that no, it's no longer exciting, something like that. And just sort of journal it a little bit, how you felt at the time compared to how you feel now. You might feel the same. If some decision you made was made out of anger, you might still be cross about these people or the situation or something. What's important is that it comes from you and that it's honest with you. And it's when you do find that your perspective changes because of time, because of developments that went on. If you take this decision and then what events were linked to it that happened afterwards, recognizing those and how that can force things into different directions too. It's a nice little 20-minute journal of your imagination and your life, and it's an interesting one, and keep it with you, just for you. Now I do have a film recommendation. I'm trying to read it on my notes. Yes, that was it. We're talking about choice, we're talking about realities, we're talking about decisions, and one film from the 90s, which is a good one, is called it's Armageddon, where the human race is faced with disaster from a meteor, and the decision is made to send Bruce Willis and his army of miners to not miners as in his children, miners as in men that mine in a coal mine or whatever they do, are sent up to put a nuclear device in the thing to shoot it off course. That's a decision. They made a decision. The world united. But the alternate version of that is just been released on Netflix. It's called Don't Look Up. And that's a similar scenario, and a meteor is coming, scientists discover it. Bruce Willis is obviously too old to call on by this time, because this Armageddon must be 20, 30 years old. So they can't call on Bruce Willis, so instead they call on the President of the United States to try and do something and come up with ideas, and it's an interesting comedy, social comedy commentary on our lack of response, whereas Armageddon is about response, human race, we will win, and I guess the pandemic has taught us that actually we don't unite very well. We will watch each other suffer and not take these things particularly seriously, because it's not, the numbers, your Instagram followers start getting upset or something. Your Twitter feed is full of people raging that it's not real, and it's all a conspiracy. There isn't a meteor coming until bang, too late. Too late to even say I told you so. Don't Look Up. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix produced film. Armageddon might well be on Netflix. I don't actually know. It is available on DVD. So that is Mindset Reset. I don't actually have a timer, so I don't know how long I ramble on for. But I hope it helps you to come up with different ways of looking at things. I am in the process of devising a online set of workshops, 45-minute workshops, using 80s films to explore, to sort of take you on a journey in order to make yourself hopefully feel more confident, have a more successful mindset, and be able to explore and understand yourself. It's 6 films. There's a worksheet to do. You'd have to buy the films, so that would have to be factored in, because otherwise I won't be able to put them on, because that will be copyright infringement and I'll get put in prison. Or Warner Brothers will sue me or something, and I don't have that sort of money. Anyway, if I could, I would, but I don't. So we go from like Empire Strikes Back to Karate Kid to Field of Dreams and explore yourself. If you're interested in that sort of thing, drop me a message or sign up to my email list, and information will be coming through as they'll be going. It will be a course you'd have to pay for, but I'll be exploring different ideas of how we can look at that. That is coming soon. But the newsletter is going out, so sign up to the email list and you'll get a newsletter. And next week I'll be going live on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. UK time, and we hopefully, if it all works, I've been asking the audience for collaborators. I've had collaborators come forward, an open forum debate for 30 minutes about Star Wars and our emotions, and see if the story tells us something, because it's essentially the hero's journey. The hero's journey is about exploring our emotions and our life and our sort of natural emotional development. So Star Wars, so 30 minutes. I'm only going to do the first 3 films, and by the first 3 films I mean episodes 4, 5 and 6. The 77 to 83. I'm not interested in the sequels. I thought they were rubbish. The prequels, actually the sequels made the prequels look really good, but at the time wasn't really that interested in the prequels either. They were a bit sort of, a bit lame. But the original 3 with, so basically we've got 10 minutes on each one, pretty much, and see if we can stir up some perspective, some mindset, some emotion, and help us. And when we watch the films next time, we'll look at it in a different light and go, yeah. So that is Mindset Reset next week, live, starting at 6:30. Hope to see you there. And as always, I'm now going to disappear into my alternate reality to turn the computer off. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and have an imaginative perspective on your life. And if you're feeling crappy about stuff, if you're feeling that you need some help or some guidance, reach out to the Facebook page group that I've got, or to other people, the doctor, whoever. But there are people here who want to help and have a community of like-minded people. That's where we are at Mindset Reset. I wish you well. Stay peaceful. I'm going to disappear into the mirror now. And so say all of us. And so